Alright, YouTubers, going to do a very quick comparison of the LG Stylo 4 and the LG Stylo 5. Now, I've had the 4 for at least a year. Out of that, I'd say I had it in service for probably 9 months. LG Stylo 5 is my current phone, and I have this in service for a little over a week. Now, obviously when I do comparisons reviews, I like to have something for at least a month, but these are so similar, I'm going to give myself a rain check on that. So let's talk about the most obvious stuff. Price wise, these are depending on how you get them, prices range, so it's kind of hard to say one's better than the other. I got this LG Stylo 5 for 99 bucks. That was an incredible deal, right? I think that's probably the best deal for $99 on a really solid phone that you're going to get. But most likely you're going to find these most places anywhere from $129 to $180, and it depends on which one's which. So the 4 should be cheaper than the 5, but it will depend on the vendor and if there's any specials going on. So when I weighed these, the 5 was 4 ounces heavier than the 4. These are both really ridiculously big phones, and sticking them in your pocket, at least your front pocket, you can tell they're there. So that was a bit negative. Now, pretty much these have the same screens, same resolution. They're just shy of being really awesome as far as the screens go. They say full HD. One thing I don't get, even though it's full HD, is how come when I go to Voodoo I can't play a video in HDX, which is 1080p. It won't let me do SD. So that part's kind of goofy. Now, other big hitters on this, battery life. For some reason, the battery life is better in the 4 than the 5. Why that is anybody's guess. You would have thought things would have improved in that category. So, as far as me holding the phones, they feel very similar, but for some reason I do like the way this feels, at least around the upper edge, more than this one. This one just feels a little, I don't know if I'd call it sharp, but it's a little, you can feel a little rougher. Maybe sharp is the right word. I've read that the download speed on the 4, is better than the 5. So that could be a negative as well. So it almost in some aspects makes you wonder why do people even want the 5, except to get a new phone like yours truly. Now, we talked a little bit about battery life. These batteries are, this is a 3500 milliamp hour battery, 3300 milliamp hour battery and a 3500 milliamp hour battery. So this one has the bigger battery, but it lasts less than this one, right? Just so I get that point out there about it. All right, so looking at the underside of these, they both have your USB Type-C. There's your headphone jack right there. I don't know if we can see that. Probably should have picked a different background. So that is similar. Looking at this side, you have your power button. The good thing about looking at this, you can see how this is aged between these two. Nothing on top, right? Nothing on top. And then let's look at the back of the 4. I might have to reopen the phones after I do this. Okay, so there are your phones, and you know, texture wise, of course, I've had this a while, so it feels a little rougher. I can't really compare these fairly. I think the newer one feels smoother. So both have the touch sensor, which is nice. You can use both left and right fingers. Basically, I think you can pick 2 fingers if you wanted to, right? So most people, assuming you have both hands or all 10 fingers, you probably would pick your 4-finger. So there is your flash, or could be your flashlight, and then the camera is right there. So disappointingly, they did not improve the screen. Like I said, they did not improve the camera in these. It's almost like, why did they bother making this phone? I don't really understand that. So, talking video recording, just pull it up. Screens, they look pretty similar, right? I don't know if this is some setting that I picked, but if I click on settings, menus, look pretty much the same. Down here you see full vision, so you can record in, well, there's the full HD, 16:9 1920 by 1080. That's the max. And here is the best setting for taking pictures. So exactly the same. Nothing super different about this. Now, the apps that came with the phones, these are different, because this one is Straight Talk. I got this. I don't even remember how I got this one, but it's different. All the settings on it from what is on here. So, other than that, folks, let me think here. The front camera is 5 megapixels, and RAM. Now, here's the biggest improvement. You have 3 gigs of RAM versus 2 gigs. So for you video gamers, that may help out. RAM speed is the same. And then performance-wise for the CPU, I think they're pretty much the same. Don't quote me on that one, though. I did not run any benchmarks to test that. The pixel density is 390 pixels per inch on these. Screen size 6.2. So I think I mistakenly had mentioned in my unboxing that was only 6, but 6.2. So they didn't even make this screen bigger. They both have an IPS screen, and CPU speed is what is it? Qualcomm Snapdragon 450, 1.8 gigahertz, I think, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, folks, basically between these two phones, whichever one you can get the better price on, it's probably the way to go. Now, I will say this is a Straight Talk phone. It works on Total Wireless. This is not, I don't use this one on there. That was a different company. So, hey, thanks for checking out the video. I hope you got something out of this. And one other thing to note, the batteries are pretty much, in the phone, and you'd have to take this to somebody that specializes that to change them out. We failed to note also in the video, the SIM card and your micro SD card are both inside of a tray in here, and you have a little gizmo that comes with it right here. You put that in there and it will pop out. You have to be very careful with these. I actually lost a SIM card inside of this phone somehow, believe it or not. It popped off. I had to buy a new SIM card because I couldn't get it out, and so that's stuck in there. But yeah, if you want a big screen and you don't at this resolution, it's kind of hard to, or excuse me, this screen size, it's kind of hard to justify having a ridiculously high resolution screen. It's kind of when you look at a 4K screen, if you're too far away from it, it's not going to look as good as it does when you're closer to it. So these phones are so small that it's I don't know if it's hard to justify really a screen that's better, in my opinion. But all right, thanks for checking out the video. Please like, please subscribe.